Hello there everyone, my name is Noah Meehan of the Arc of Truth, and today as I'm making this video on November 9th, 2024, Donald Trump, 4 days ago, was re-elected as the 47th President of the United States, succeeding our supposed President, Joe Biden. And this is just a great deal for me. I am so happy. Quick fun fact, Donald Trump is not the first president to win multiple terms not consecutively. In fact, he is the first Republican to be able to do that, but the first one that actually got that was Grover Cleveland, who was with the Democratic Party. He won the presidential election of 1884 and served as the 22nd president until he lost the 1888 election. He won the popular vote in all three cases, but the Electoral College allowed Benjamin Harris to become the 23rd president of the United States before running for a third time in the 1892 election and serving as the 24th president of the United States. I know it's kind of weird like that. In all technicality, you could say that in reality, we actually had 45 presidents when you're just accounting for the people who actually served in the Oval Office. But yeah, it's kind of a weird system. Anyway, that's not the only thing that's occurred. Donald Trump not only managed to win the Electoral College, by the way, he managed to obtain 6 more electoral votes than he did in 2016, from 306 to 312. He managed to win the popular vote. He also managed to gain control of the Senate, and it's more likely than not, as I'm making this video, the Republicans are going to gain a few seats in the House. They're going to hold the House. Already, this is such a big mandate that there has not been such a big sweep like this in over a century. As far as I know, this was either from... We haven't seen something like this since 1928 or 1932. It's either one of those 2 years. And take it this way. I mentioned before in one of my videos of a man named Frank Beck, who I consider a very good friend. He happens to be 97 years old. And this entire election was basically a repeat from his youth. It's crazy. This election was crazy. Again, Donald Trump won the Senate. He won the House. He won the popular vote. He won the Electoral College. He has a mandate from the people, and the establishment hates that. By the way, there's a bird that my mom and I are taking care of at this point in time. And that's why there's a little bit of barking, but yeah, just want to let you guys know. But again, it's so crazy, and this comes out on the back burner of how badly Biden has managed the entire economy, and it's not just the economy; it's just the handling of the government in general, with how the immigration issue has been affecting everyone. It's no longer considered just a border state issue. This has been affecting all parts of the United States, from New York to Colorado to, of course, California and many parts of the state. And no one can just look away from this anymore. There's also the issue of inflation. There's also the issue of the economy, in spite of the fact that the press, as well as the White House, and even Alan Lichtman himself, who's predicted that Kamala Harris was going to be the 47th president, not Donald Trump. I may make a video on him, but I don't know. I'm more focused on actually the state of the election, the issue of irregularities, as well as the state of the Democratic Party right now. I think those are actually more interesting. But nonetheless, those 3 issues, which happen to be major issues that the American people are more focused on, were so heavily screwed up upon by Biden and Harris. And Harris, as she was basically installed by the Democrats to replace Joe Biden at the 11th hour, just before the convention, I might add, without having actually gotten the delegates through the primaries. She couldn't be able to tell the American people what she would be able to do differently from that of Joe Biden. And I would say that was one of the nails into the coffin of her campaign. One of them. Although in my personal opinion, I would say the mishandling of Hurricane Helen and the fact that Biden and Harris were more focused on what was going on in places like the Middle East and Ukraine instead of the American people was the final straw, especially considering the fact that households would only get $750 if they're lucky as a result of trying to recover from Hurricane Helen in places like North Carolina and Georgia. And I knew it based upon the reaction of Kamala Harris in North Carolina as a result of that. There was no way that the states of Georgia and North Carolina would turn towards her. By the way, in regards to my prediction video that I literally made at around 3 a.m. on November 5th, I expected that most of the swing states would be able to go to Donald Trump. I said that Michigan was up in the air due to the fact that it's a more liberal state in the Rust Belt, but I nonetheless gave a little bit of an edge to Donald Trump because Atlas Intel was pointing towards that, and it was known to be very reliable. And it turns out they were right, and I was to an extent right about that as well, but again, I put it in a more toss-up category. Nonetheless, he was over the threshold of becoming president of the United States the moment he managed to get Pennsylvania. There was absolutely no way at that point that he could have lost the election. No way. He won Georgia. He won North Carolina. He won Pennsylvania. And at the point with Pennsylvania, all he needed was 3 more electoral college electoral college votes. That was it. And then he became president. All that needed to happen was for Alaska to be called, which had exactly 3. But that didn't need to happen because Wisconsin came and did that for them. 10 electoral college votes. But overall, it's going to be 312 6 more electoral college votes, thanks to the state of Nevada, by the way, than Donald Trump got in 2016, which was 306, minus the few of the faithless electoral votes. But nonetheless, this is just great. And again, the fact of the matter is that the Democrats, especially Biden and Harris, were more focused on different policy matters that honestly a lot of people did not really give a damn about. The war in Ukraine, that has been off of people's minds, and honestly, it actually kind of added fuel to the fire of how a lot of people felt in terms of how the government was treating its own citizens. They were more concerned with Ukraine and the war in the Middle East than they were on the situation happening here in America. Basically, and whenever they focused on that, they were gaslighting people, thinking that everything was fine until everything, like what was going on with immigration, was no longer something that they could afford to look back on. But of course, all they had was, at this point, and thanks to the fact that Kamala Harris is basically one of the dumbest politicians I've ever seen, I am not kidding you. She makes Hillary Clinton is a psychopath, but she is intelligent. You have to admit, she was pretty intelligent. But Kamala Harris was stupid. She was incredibly stupid. She had no way to distance herself from Joe Biden, yet at the same time, she did not really have any true policies that could actually help with the American people. Because as she tried herself closer to Joe Biden, and the fact that Joe Biden basically gave her more of, in his own words, more reins in regards to presidential powers, this makes her more at fault what the situation was with the country. I hate to say it with the Democrats, but you're the ones who twice backed the wrong horse. First, it was Joe Biden with the clear issue of his dementia and the fact that he's been a shitty leader. Let's just be honest with that. And of course, with Kamala Harris, who, again, was just an outside candidate. And as people got to know her, people did not really like her. They did not trust her. And there was nothing special about her. She was just a puppet, an establishment puppet, and people knew that. That's why people decided, screw this, we're going to Donald Trump. And the fact of the matter is, the Democrats shot themselves in the foot, considering the fact that the neolibs, the establishment neolibs, basically made an alliance, a fragile alliance with the woke far left in their own party, neglecting that of with the average blue-collar Democrats within their own party, which have since either gone independent or have gone towards the Republican Party, a.k.a. people like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., who happen to be major outcasts. Already, that spelled doom for the Democrats, and I don't see much of a change in that regard. Honestly, I don't, but I'm going to explain more of that in a later video. Donald Trump, for better or for worse, has changed the ground game in regards to American politics. He has made history multiple times. He has made history as the first man who never had held political office to ascend to the presidency. He is the first convict, or should I say convict, to ascend to the presidency. He is the first person since Grover Cleveland to get the presidency non-consecutively multiple terms. And already, it's a very exciting time. Donald Trump has been shown in his first term that he's very creative, although, don't get me wrong, he was hampered much by the establishment, both Republicans and Democrats. But with his upcoming second term, and with Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., as well as J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy advising him in his transition, I am very excited for the future, and he's definitely not going to repeat the mistakes he made in his first term. I don't know what's going to happen. All I do know is that Donald Trump has a major vision already outlined in Agenda 47, not Project 2025, mind you. Oh my God, I'm tired of hearing about that. In Agenda 47, and I definitely cannot wait for his second term. My name is Noah Meehan on The Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, like the video, subscribe to your friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as how I speak or my improv, please post them down in the comment section down below or directly message me. Thank you.
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains.